Archers, attack! Keep firing! Let none escape! Another down! Do not relent!
What up? I'm Slidewhistle.
'Tis I, Immunization, the vampire in the month of October.
And I'm Aaron, Fire Mage Extraordinaire and Horde Punching Bag. And yes, I'm sick, so I'm going to sound funny. But that's not important. What is important is Zodiac. Did you guys hear about this?
I don't believe it. I don't think it's real.
I mean, people are acting as if we didn't already know that Ted Cruz was the Zodiac Killer, right? Is this just a cover-up there to make us forget about this?
At this point, Ted Cruz wishes he was the Zodiac Killer because anything interesting would happen in his life. But no, it's just some dead guy, allegedly. But I'm like, you know what? That's wild. They finally got him. And I was like, what evidence do they have? And it was like, a wandering shaman on a motorcycle pulled up and sent them a piece of mail in the snail mail. And I was like, oh, so we don't have him then.
Was this Gum Gums doing this?
Was it?
No, she's dead.
Oh, she died. Just like the Zodiac, am I right?
Is she the Zodiac Killer? Who knows? Who knows? Hey, join our Discord.
We have one.
It's actually pretty poppin' most days, I feel like.
I figure saying it at the beginning before everyone goes away is still good to do.
You know, they had their hand on the door on the Zodiac Shaman conversation, but you reel them back in. They're sitting on their seats now.
Sit down. If you hear any ice being knocked around in the background, our cat's going absolutely batshit on an ice cube. She loves smacking them around, and it's really fucking annoying.
If you hear any coughing in the background, it's me dying.
What if I hear you coughing in the foreground?
Then I'm at your home next to you while you're listening, so that would be unfortunate. I'm in no position to travel right now. I'm sick.
Are you guys ready? Are you guys excited to talk about this? About how we are soothsayers, how we are future predictors, how we are magic.
Yeah, I feel like this happens quite often on this show where we say something and then like within the week or of the few days or whatever, it's announced that this thing is happening in the game. And this time I'm talking about like literally the day before the Blizzard announced that they were going to add like male incubi to the game. We said last week, right, that we thought it would be cool if they were added, or 2 weeks ago.
And not only that, but like we've been saying it for a while. Like that was like our third time talking about it, and it just happened to be like that last time. It's like the Candyman. Say it 3 times, and it happens.
Incubus.
But instead of jumping through the window and killing you with my big hook, and also talking about racial profiling in the police force, it's just me giving you extra character models.
I think it's pretty rad, you know? So now, if you're a warlock and you like having your big titty goth girl, now you can have, I presume, a big bald goth boy? Like, what is this model going to look like?
Did you say big ball as in his testicles are large, or big bald as in you know something I don't and none of these gentlemen will have hair?
Yes. It's going to be the smoothest incubus you've ever seen.
He is going to slip by on the sheer lack of surface tension on his smooth body.
I'm picturing very little clothing, maybe some BDSM gear.
Because, like, even for the succubus, like, aren't succubus also kind of, like, gross looking, like, in general fantasy? Like, they aren't completely sexy, right?
I mean, it runs the gamut. WoW's succubi have big hoof feet, so that's a little tough to get through.
Well, here we go. Here's some sick fan art of an incubus. That's just a dude with little baby horns and wings. That's gonna be it. That's gonna be the one. Just a human model. Little horns.
Do you think they got a guy to come in and record male giggling and kissy noises? I really hope they don't just recycle them, because that's gonna take me out of the fantasy.
I thought they have to, right? They can't, because like have you heard the succubus noises before? Like, there's no way they can.
That's why, and other than the fact that I don't like their ability as much, that's why I intentionally don't have mine out. I was like, you don't make me feel comfortable.
Yeah, but it is cool that it's going to be a glyph, so that depending on if you want the male incubus or the female succubus, then you can choose which one you want.
I'm getting ready. I'm putting my seatbelt on before any stupido shows up in the things and goes like, I have to pay money on the auction house to get a boy? I hate that.
Man, I'm just telling you, type in incubus demon in Google and look at the images. Like, the incubus better be as hot as all this fan art I'm seeing of this devil boy.
I would also like to point out and make it known that Slide initially just typed in incubus, and obviously the band came up.
Of course. That's really got to deal a blow to, like, classic storytellers, that their creature from hundreds of years of folktale is beaten out by a band from the mid-90s.
Is Incubus even doing anything, like, musically anymore?
The other day in the Discord, Gershom called people from Incubus by name, and I was like, how do you know their names? They're just Incubus. They are a relic of the past. It's like referring to the Mayans.
Well, I know some Mayans, you know, Ralph and JT.
Do you think that the ancient Mayans predicted on their calendars far enough out to predict when Incubus was going to form and when they were going to have like their first hit and be relevant and then start to fade off?
I mean, the Mayan calendar went to what, like late 2012? So 1994 was included in the calendar, so they must have known about Incubus.
If only they knew about Incubus being added to WoW. That was their big oversight that they missed out on.
Well, like I said, it only went to 2012. They had another rock they were working on, but then Spanish invasion.
I didn't hear them say it on their podcast. That's all I'm saying.
I was going to say, so you guys have heard it here first. Do not relent. DNR is more knowledgeable than the Mayans.
You damn straight.
All I'm saying is conquistadors have yet to come into the studio and take us out, so looks like we're better. Also, we play soccer with our feet and not with our hips.
They're just biding their time. The conquistadors are right outside waiting. They're like, damn it, they fucking know, they know.
Is that a 1300s boat in the parking lot of my apartment? Oh no, they're coming!
So you see, they were planning their invasion and they were prepared and they just arrived, but they were a little behind. So they parked their boats in Borealis, but little did they know that we've relocated to the afterlife here in Ouroboros. Although, as we were saying, I kind of miss our studio in Borealis, but I guess it did protect us from these conquistadors for another season.
Yeah, conquistadors could easily roll over the Borealis guards, though. Like, because there are no Borealis guards. Did you hear that? Remember how there was no safety from the fucking horde attacking in Borealis? Like, what the fuck?
We were the Borealis Guard, the Order of the White Griffin.
I forgot about that. That was such a cool moment when everyone just surrounded the city in their white griffins protecting the lobies from the horde.
They should let us fight in Ouroboros. I think that'd be cool. Just like fighting on but only in the basement. Or yeah.
Oh, I was like, can you imagine just the chaos if all of a sudden, one patch, there was like an on-off switch, like the Dalaran sewers, and it's just like, kill each other. You're just running through the professions halls, mowing people down.
On like reset day, just everyone brawling in front of the Great Vault while they're trying to figure out what they want to take out of it.
So, that I guess that we can kind of spiral into this next topic of them continuing to make changes to the game where people, you, the listeners, and people on the forums are being completely batshit crazy about these changes.
Can I read you a particular story I saw when I was looking for a Heroes Call board today?
Yeah, I feel like we might have to rename it like Crybaby Corner or something because this shit's getting nuts.
So, posted today, I'm sorry, this was 2 days ago. Tressa, the level 60 Void Elf Rogue, gives us this. I feel helpless about these changes. I've enjoyed this game since early vanilla. I've made friends, enjoyed raiding with them, and invested countless dollars and hours into it. Each expansion comes with change. Some have been good, some not so good. These last two expansions haven't been the greatest, but I still like logging in and powering up so I can contribute on raid night. If an expansion bad, I know it'll only be no more than 2 years and maybe the next will be better. In the meantime, I can make the best with what we have. But something happened this expansion that hasn't happened before. The Puritan Purge. Each day over the last few weeks, there's new items, NPCs, quests, etc. that are being renamed or outright removed from the game. And each week we air our grievances, those last words were in quotes, with them in mass, and yet they keep happening. We don't even know when it'll end, if it ever will. I feel helpless. What else can we do to stop this? Why are they so hell-bent on this purification? Why don't they talk to us about it, or give feedback, or say anything at all beyond bland corporate talking points? Do they not see their numbers plummeting? Do they just contempt the player base? I don't understand. The more things get censored, the less I feel welcome, or a sense of belonging. I've always felt at home. That was also in quotes. In WoW, since 2005, this is the first time I get the sense I'm not part of the community anymore.
So dramatic. What the fuck? This isn't even the first person I've seen like this. There are some somewhat famous people out there who are saying that this is, quote, a personal attack against them and the player base, unquote. And I'm like, the fuck are you guys talking about? And also, Tessa, or whoever the fuck this is, they actually had a blue post where they described exactly what they were doing and their reasoning for why they were doing it.
Why do people think that, like, this is whose identity is masturbator joke? Like, who cares? Like, yes, it's a change of something you've seen before, but, like, why do people care so much about something that they don't even look at on the regular? You think about these NPCs like once, like every 4 years. Like, it doesn't matter.
Exactly. Like, none of these things change how you play the game, like the game part of the game, and I don't know. In general, I feel like it's good that they're making these changes, especially some of the, like, when we were looking at the list of all of the, like, jokes and flirts that are being changed or removed, we were like, oh yeah, I forgot that these were them, or some of them we just didn't even know existed, and we even remember that, like, 5 or so years ago when we first started playing, and even when we were drunk out of our mind in college, we were like, ooh, this makes me a little uncomfy here. So I get it. Like, some of these things are very dated. Some of these things were probably never funny. So go remove them, change them. I don't care. Like, I think it's good.
And then I've seen people who are like, well, you know, this is just virtue signaling. They should be working on more important things, like paying their employees better or treating them better. And I'm like, the employees that you claim you want treated better are the ones who are making these changes. They literally, like, they have a system. They said that they're working through, like, they have like a was it like a chat or something where they put forward these suggestions that the team want changed, so the people making the game want it changed. Like, what?
Yeah, like, but Bobby Cody, Fran Townsend, like, if you press them, like, why are you changing the flirts? They would have no idea what you're talking about.
Right.
Those are the people who are leading the effort to, like, do all the sketchy shit. This is coming from the people that you're like, listen to them. Watch out, because they're all leaving the company. And then when they're like, okay, thank you for supporting us, here's the changes we want, it's like, boo, fucking leave.
Yeah. And then, like, also, another argument I see a lot is that, like, oh, this is a waste of time when these developers should be doing things about the actual game and mechanics in the game that need to be changed. There's better use of their time. And it's like, come on, guys. Like, first off, I feel like they're completely different teams here. Like, you can do both and listen to and support the employees that you claim that you were supporting. They want to do this for them and their team and their culture within the company. That was the whole problem to begin with.
And at the end of the day, none of this shit even really affects you. Like,
yeah,
the most,
like fucking fart butt from Miss of Pandaria being renamed like Jean Wow. Unless you go back through Miss of Pandaria and you just really loved seeing fart butt at the fishing quest, like, it matters nothing anymore.
It's just real stupid. I don't get it. And so they, and the best part is that all the stuff that's happening, it's happening through like wildhead data mining that we're seeing. I didn't even think about that. So I was listening to Starting Zone, and they were talking about this same exact thing, and they were saying how like they're not like all this shit is only being found out because Wildhead is data mining it and putting it out on the forefront.
It's the developers aren't televising it like, look at all these impure, disgusting things we've changed. It's us combing over all of the data, being like, look at these impure, disgusting things they've changed.
And it's Wildhead being like, hey everyone, look at this. This is bad. I mean, like, they're not saying that, but like that's how people take it because they're fucking idiots. And I guarantee you, if we would not have seen these data mined, nobody would even notice. Nobody would blink an eye that they didn't have their Dutch oven on the foot fungus dwarf lady joke. I
do miss that one because I feel like it was just taken out because farts is nasty, which like I get, but also it's like, damn, I do remember that one.
Yeah, I remember that one too, and distinctly thinking that, wow, that is fucking disgusting. Like, gross disgusting.
Yeah, it's
like.
and it's not even like offensive to me on like a level of like, oh, I don't know about that one. It's just like, I don't want to hear anyone say that. Or like another one that was taken out was like, I fart in the bathtub. Like, what? Why would you code that to be something someone says?
I give myself a Dutch oven pedicure every night. It prevents foot fungus? Is that what it was?
Yeah, it prevents foot fungus.
She's farting on her goddamn toes. Imagine trying to fart on your own toes. It's so nasty.
Disgusting.
I just want to let everyone know we may go over some of the things that have been changed, but just so you know, none of the Worgen things were changed, so we stay unproblematic.
There's a female Draenei one that was removed that I didn't even know they did. Was it a joke or a flirt that they just... Like, the whole point of it was just them making slurping noises, apparently?
Yeah, because I think the whole joke was like, haha, funny foreign people speak not our thing. So it was like, yeah, the joke was like, oh, if you want to do, you're going to have to... And it's like, yeah, I don't know if they mean like as a tentacle thing or just like, oh, they don't speak our language.
Yeah, it's I want you to click and splat my gurgling noises, slurping noises. I've never heard that before in my life.
I haven't either, but if I'm being honest, I don't really use /flirt all that often.
That's also what I think is so fucking funny. Think about the amount of times that you as a player have /flirted or /joked. Okay, now think about how many times somebody else has heard that. Because the odds of somebody else hearing your flirt and joke are fucking like 0%. Because that shit never works. Nobody ever hears my jokes. Nobody ever hears my flirts. You can just play the YouTube clip, and then you got it
next to each other to actually hear them. So it's like, yeah, it's not like, I don't know.
Because yeah, and you don't even know if people can hear it or not. But let me tell you, nobody can fucking hear it. They disabled /train in raids and in dungeons. No one can hear any of the shit you're saying to begin with. So pull up a video and just play the removed sound clips, and you have literally the same effect as if they were in the game still. The goblins got fucking hit hard, though.
Yeah, no, and that makes sense because, I mean, I look at a goblin, I'm like, those are little nasty people. So then I saw what was removed, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. They're little nasty people.
Like the goblin male, like, I got what you need sound of zipper. Like, fuck. Like, come on.
That's not even clever. It's just like, look at my little green penis. It's like, yeah, that's gonna go.
I like my women the way I like my fuses. Short, fast, and ready to blow. Who's fighting for that to be in the game? Like, nobody.
Yeah, and they were just hit hard in general too because of all of the rocket themed jokes as well, which I assume were in line with the Love Rocket and all of those jokes that were very, very popular on the dev team or whatever then.
I do think one of my favorite things of them like removing innuendos are them changing quest titles, because sometimes when you see a quest, like, you don't even like remember what the quest title was, right? And so, like, for them to change all these quest titles is them admitting, like, okay, yes, this one was supposed to be a sexual joke, and you got us. Like, got wood is now got lumber. Got wood, obvious, right? Going bareback is now barely hanging on. And it's like, whoa, okay, hang on. I don't think I would automatically assume that was a bareback sex joke. Like, opening the back door is now the cell block tango, which I still kind of think.
The opening the back. I don't know. Opening the back door, I don't distinctly see as like an anal sex joke.
But, like, I think we could definitely make the cell block tango into a new sex joke. Like, hey, you want to go do the cell block tango with me? Like, I don't think it's any better.
Well,
like,
I think the girls and gays would immediately go to Chicago for that one.
Camel toe. Now, it's not even like TOE. It's like you're towing a camel. Camel toe is now camaraderie, that's probably the first time that word has ever been typed out in the English language. Camaraderie.
Is that even a word? Like, actually? Well, anyways, like, some of these, I understand why they're removing them because they're like actual sexual innuendos, but I think some of them are clever though, so it's a little sad. But I get it.
A case of crabs.
I will say that some of them, the innuendo ones that are clever, are being replaced with things that I would also say are clever. Camaraderie being the exclusion. I just see that and I'm like, oh, you could have just gotten rid of that one.
And but then there's people who are saying, like, this isn't now it's going to be a kid's game. Now the children are going to play this. And I'm like, okay, well, that's good because you want people to play your game. What, you just want to keep the old fuckhead base that we are? Of all these grandpas and grandmas who are like, ooh, I like my sex jokes.
Also, it's not like these changes being made isn't gonna like attract anyone. Like, no parent's gonna be like, oh, I saw that they made these changes and wow, now my 8-year-olds can play.
This game that has been out for 17 years, finally now we can play it, now that they've removed a fraction of the sexual references.
It's fucking weird. Some of these changes are good, though. So, like, they changed some NPCs around. So, like, Masturbator is now, which we tweeted about, and you got some traction on that one, Aaron.
Oh, I mean, I know. People got long-seated opinions, and I was just like, I mean, so the one thing that I said there that is the only thing worth any sort of salt is, like, I feel like WoW used to be like, funny gamers paradise, let's reference the real world.
Donkey Kong?
But now,
is that you?
But now that it's been out for 20 years, WoW is its own culture, so it can afford to sort of get rid of references to the real world that are only there to serve as reference jokes. Like, you can flesh out your characters more because it's not just like a gamer zone. It's its own world now. I don't know if we need Paris Hilton just touching lava every 6 seconds going, that's hot. We've evolved past that.
And I say we got one of our best changes here. They changed the name of a Shadowpan Pandaren, whose name was Shang Lish, and now their name is Dingle, as in Merton J. Dingle from hit TV show on Fox Kids, Big Wolf on Campus.
Is that real, or is that
yes.
just a Big Wolf on Campus?
No, Shang Lish is now so you know how trolls have that apostrophe, so now it's Ding apostrophe LE. It's Dingle. Dingle. It was changed to be Dingle.
Also, like, shout out in general to the Discord where, like, last week and earlier today, we watched the first episode of Big Wolf on Campus in our Discord. Slide, you streamed it. It was kind of fun.
I mean, after this, I'm down to watch more. Who knows?
Heck yeah.
It's just weird. Also, the Masturbator change is so... Like, is this the most thought put into a name change? Because, like, well, even Wahid's like, Masturbator is now Zhang Zia. The Chinese noble, Zhang Zia, is the subject of an 11th century BC proverb. Grand Duke Jing goes fishing. A willing person takes the bait, which expresses a uniquely patient method of fishing by hanging a straight hook 3 feet above the water with no bait. Like fish rising to his line, it refers to a victim willfully allowing themselves to be caught in a trap. And I'm like, okay, I don't think masturbator is that serious to require a Chinese proverb backup, Wowhead.
It's wild that they decided to put that much heat on the guy named Masturbator.
What?
I mean, I feel like the thing anyways, the main reason I feel like it's good that they changed this one too is because, like, it was literally just a joke. I feel like it would have fit better originally if Masturbator was his title, not his name, right?
Immune's coming in here like, not only was that a yucky joke, you didn't even do it right.
Like, what Pandaren is named
his
Bader?
name could have been... Exactly.
That is just, that's just stupid. That's just dumb to begin with. I don't know. Who cares? Like, it's good, you idiots. You fuckheads. Just accept it and move on.
I do think it's kind of funny, like, how up in arms people are over this. I'm like, it literally does not affect you.
This is the only trickle-down effect that Ronald Fuckhead Reagan and Nancy Whore Reagan have given us, is that the people at the top on, like, Twitter and, like, content creators are like, this is a bad change, and this proves that Blizzard is gonna fail as a company. And then it trickles down to everybody else, and everyone's like, yeah, this makes our game bad. And I'm like, no, it doesn't.
Is this the only time trickle down anything has worked?
Yeah, basically. Fuck you, Reagans.
Yeah.
Honestly, you guys are awful. I learn more and more awful things every day about you two. May you rot.
And it's also funny because on Twitter, I think we had our first negative Twitter reaction. And now honestly, I've been waiting for the day that somebody brings the heat, because there's nothing I love more than getting into an argument with somebody who is just so wrong. And I combed through their page. So Aaron, you tweeted about that WoW shirt, right?
Yeah, it was just like that general, like, Jinx.com RPG shirt, and some guy the caption was something like, which WoW character would wear this unironically? And some guy came up and was like, someone doesn't know the meaning of ironic. And that really did fuck me up, though, because I was like, I feel like I did, though.
Yeah, this British fuck, Tom0560, don't follow him on Twitter. He does not deserve the credit.
He's that classic first name bunch of numbers.
It's a Twitter troll. Like, the Twitter just exists to, like, troll people. And this is also a trap that people on WoW fall into, is that they parrot the words of people who are just stirring up shit, who haven't played this game in forever. And I go through his profile, and it's all just, like, crazy, like, yeah, England should not be not a part of the rest of the world. And it's like, oh, this is a bad person to begin with. And he responds to almost every single tweet that, like, is negative on Warcraft. I looked at him. Someone's like, I wish someone at Warcraft has played retail. And it's about, like, PvP complaints. And he said, shh, don't bother the devs. They're too busy removing dig chokes and cleavage from the game to make it even remotely balanced. Nuking someone in 2 to 3 seconds and a stun with healer silence with all cooldowns popped is one thing. When it's 0.01 seconds or less, it's just terrible game design. And it's like, you think the same team that's balancing PvP fights is the same team that's making positive changes in the game? No, you fucking moron!
And there's just some big disconnect here, too, because the same people who now are saying it's a waste of these devs' time to make these changes now are the same people, like, a year ago that are like, oh my god, this game has been so unbalanced since the beginning, they don't even care about balancing anything. So it's like, pick one or the other. You already say that, like, they're shit at balancing, they're never going to balance it anyways, it's never going to be balanced. So it's like, why would... It just doesn't make sense to me, you know?
It's dumb. This is my rant. I've just, like, it's been happening in guild chat. It's been happening in the guild Discord. I've seen it on it's just everywhere. And it's just like, why do we pick up the most negative energy and decide this is what we're going to put back out? Like, it's just what the community does. And it's so fucking annoying. And I'm so exhausted arguing at every corner with every single person about it. Like, get a grip, right? Just get a grip.
It stinks that it is, by and large, the prevailing popular theory Like, for better and for worse, I do have World of Warcraft tagged as a thing that Twitter tells me about, like every so often when people tweet about it. And I'll see things like, really enjoying hanging out with friends and loving the world, 7 likes. And then people will be like, I really think Asmongold's doing the best here. We need to vote with our pocket, 100 likes. And it's like, oh, like it stinks that not only is it out there, but is by and large the popular theory.
And I think my favorite thing about all of this is, so if you look at the Alliance and the Horde jokes and flirts that were removed, I feel like the Alliance ones that were removed are more just like, haha, my penis, haha, I'm a mechanism that vibrates, haha, fart in the tub. The Horde jokes are honestly pretty fucking bad. All the Goblin jokes. You have Taurens being homophobic over here, who are like, homogenized? No way. I like the ladies. And every single male Tauren has that line built in. So if you're an RPer who's gay, or you're an RPer who doesn't, you want to fuck with Tauren ladies, too bad. That's in your / joke kit, and that's there for you. You're Tauren. All Taurens are straight. They're all homogenized. Or no, sorry, they're heterogenized.
And all blood elves all blood elf, I don't know if the men, but definitely the women are racist, because there's at least 2 or 3 jokes where it's like, oh my god, did you see that fucking troll with her bone in her nose? Oh.
Yes.
Like, Blizzard in 2006 was like, they are all from the Valley and all canonically racist.
Yeah, the line is, so I went to this troll spa the other day, and I wound up with dreadlocks and a freaking bone in my nose. I mean, come on, who pays for that? Bruh, that is racist. That should never been in the game at all. Like, that was in BC Classic? Like, in BC? Like, what?
So not only are they going to make races in this game that are probably problematic in their own way, then they're going to make jokes and things that are making fun of those races. So if it wasn't meant to be racist initially, this definitely was.
And then you have orc females. This joke was removed. What's estrogen? Can you eat it? I'm a buff orc lady. And it's like, come on. Like, that's not even a joke. It's just stupid. And just, it doesn't fit.
The amount of BDSM jokes that were in the game for 15 years that had to be taken out, not shaming BDSM, but it's like, that's wild, man. There's a lot of jokes about like, yeah, I tied her down and I did the business. Anyways, can I get a mana bun before we pull this boss?
And like the troll ones, like, I know good and well there was nobody of color working on the team when trolls came in 2002. I like my women dumpy and droopy with halitosis. And it's like, okay, that's weird. And the flirt is, want some of my jungle love? Everyone fucking, like, come on. Jungle love? That is so, that's literally an Afrasiosby joke. Like,
Jeffy Caps and Alex Afrasiosby are like, oh my god, that's so fucking funny.
Just weird. It's just for the, and like, so the thing is, think about the player base. The people who are complaining about this are usually Horde, because that's the people. The Horde are like, we want our fun, sexy, homophobic jokes. It's great. And it's like, bruh, chill. Those are not good jokes.
Yeah, I don't know. And I feel like, I don't know. In general, like, times change. Get with it. Jokes that, like, even we found funny in 2006, we don't find funny now. People grow, so I don't see why the game shouldn't grow.
Welcome to my soapbox. If you're still here, you made it. You fucking made it.
We are now stepping off of our proverbial high horses. Let's make some goofs and or gaffes. I'm just waiting for some fan. I'm waiting for Randall to really just flame us and write their own, like, I just don't feel like I'm part of the group anymore. What 140 some episodes, and I felt comfortable, but not today.
Randall, if you're still a listener, turn this shit off and delete your fucking Twitter. You have the worst goddamn opinions I've ever seen in my fucking life, and I would love nothing more than for you to email us and say that you're no longer a fan, because I fucking hate your goddamn timeline.
It's so funny to me, though, because, like, the number of times we've told listeners to just fuck off if they have bad opinions is, like, astronomical. Maybe that's why we've never, like, broken, like, a certain threshold of listeners, but whatever. I don't give a shit. We do this for ourselves, obviously, and for just have fun.
The community is shit. Need I remind you what I remind Trade Chat of every 12 days? Steve Bannon. Yes, Steve Bannon literally used World of Warcraft for a troll farm because he could find incels out there like Randall to corrupt and be like, listen, aren't ladies gross? And they were like, yeah, ladies are gross.
Yeah,
well, give me money.
It speaks to the community that Stephen Breitbart Bannon himself could easily go on and with one or two moves raise a weird conservative army.
Fucking nuts, man. Fucking nuts. Okay, what's fun? What do we have fun to talk about that's not people being dipshits? So, I had this idea, right, for a great movie. It's about two gnomes who find a bracelet of power, and they take it to the burning steps and cast it into the cauldron. They form the Brotherhood of the Bracelet. Along the way, they're trailed by a murloc named Gotham, who's obsessed with the bracelet, and 9 bracelet boogeymen. It could be a 3-parter called Ruler of the Bracelet. The first part will be called The Brotherhood of the Bracelet, followed by a couple of towers, with a climactic ending called Hey, the King's Back.
Oh my god. So, during our little break here,
like,
I was...
Is that
during our little
bacon? Hey guys, I smell... Do you smell bacon? Bacon, anyone? Oh, that's bacon. Bacon. Who's got the bacon? Where's the bacon?
So, see, guys, you can have iconic, funny jokes that aren't racist or sexist or innuendos, but I did jokingly say during our little break, I'm waiting for them to remove the human male joke about Lord of the Rings. I mean, it's mainly joking, but like it's so fucking long, and that's the point, you know.
So, I had this idea for a time warp.
Oh, no! Also, can I talk about the fact I'm on the wiki here? Worgen hard or hardly Worgen? I don't think that's a thing we say.
It is.
I think they're lying.
No, it's
I've
real.
I've never heard it. Huh.
I heard it and I was like, that's not even a joke. Like, what is that?
They have one that says, "Are you into furries?" I've never heard that. That had to be gone.
Oh, right. It's my time warp. These people, these fools have 40 seconds to answer as many correct answers to the question I'm going to ask them as I actually pull up my timer for the first time in like 3 time warps.
Also, I'm sorry, everyone. I just checked. That was the Worgen male. That's why I haven't heard those jokes.
Change your sex. Hear him out.
Growlino.
I need you two fuckers to name for me as many cities in the World of Warcraft in its entirety that contain auction houses. On your mark, get set, go.
Stormwind, Orgrimmar, Borealis, Oribos,
Shatrith, Dalaran,
Dazarolor? Is that
yeah,
what the city's
that's
called?
probably one. Yeah.
Your Longboy Auction House. So basically any city if Slidewhistle is there.
Any city if a rich person's there. Storm Shield, maybe?
Dalaran, old and new, probably.
Time!
I only know of like 2 that I go to.
Wow, okay, this is actually really hard. Okay, so, Aaron, you said Dalaran. Were you saying Dalaran?
Yes.
Okay, So I think that Aaron technically wins because he said Dalaran, and I was like, does he mean the old one and the new one? But Immune said old Dalaran and new Dalaran, saying so. That's why I was like, wait a minute, I'm not sure what to do. So if I base it off of that,
this is not even to be like, oh, I think I can win it. I did say Orgrimmar and Orgrimmar to reference there too, and Dalaran to reference old and new.
Okay.
But I can give it to Immune because he did specify old versus new.
The double Orgrimmar, I think, does factually put you over because there are two. I forgot there's so many fucking auction houses. I mean, I guess Stormwind has more than one too. So, and no one said yes, you bitch. The Dwarven District.
Yeah, it's the better one. Also, I did say Stormwind and Orgrimmar right off the bat, but
oh fuck, you're right. Oh my god, you did. So that negates one of the Orgrimmars from Aaron's pool. Holy fuck, what does the count at?
I also didn't know that we could say like that there were more than one. I mean, I knew that there were 2 Stormwind ones.
I guess,
and I know that there's apparently 5 banks and like 7 auction houses.
Hang on.
We can just give it to Immune.
No,
I don't want to cause a problem.
Let me go back.
This is the funny half.
Hang on. So I did say cities with auction house. I did not say auction houses. So therefore, I guess it is kind of a tie right now. Still, we're.
I think he won it though, technically, based on the Dalaran thing. I didn't hear him say Dalaran at the beginning, or else I would have not even bothered saying it. So,
did you guys know that Silvermoon City has an auction house?
I know nothing about Silvermoon City other than you can't fly in it, so it's a hellhole.
Okay, I'm gonna give it to Aaron. Aaron, you won. You won this contentious battle of the words.
Honestly, everyone, I'd like to give a shout out to my boys in Nomergon, keeping it real. Big T, Snoop Pup, Little D's. Y'all are short, but you're real, baby.
I love that one was removed because I'm like, why? But then I'm thinking about it. These things are being removed because they don't fit into the game sphere, and that does not fit into the WoW sphere. Also, I'm sorry, I said game sphere. Drake and Josh.
Megan.
Game sphere. Okay, I'm gonna go grab my shot. BRB.
Spherical.
It's
spherical.
Interesting.
I thought they got rid of that one because one of the friends is named Little D's, and it comboed into D's nuts too easily.
I think it was removed because it just wasn't like a gnome thing to say. Because it's not.
Because gnomes don't
have friends. They're all dead. They don't have homies anywhere. I think the auction house that fucks me up the most is the one in Thunderbluff, because I'm like, y'all ain't connected to nothing. So how long does it take for me to talk to that fucking Tauren at the tents in Mulgore? And he's like, yeah, I'll get your shit out soon.
They auction things out using what they have. Like, you try and sell a medallion of the Legion, and it's like, oh, that'll be 70 gold. But then you go to Thunderbluff, and you'd be like, that'll be 13 berries. It's like, what? Why is it different? It's like, we don't have money here. We live at the top of a tree.
Have you seen my 13 berries?
I tried to sell a medallion.
I thought we got away from this, guys. We were clocked on this very recently from, I think, Vanderlyle. But
yes,
anyways.
It was mentioned. It was not mentioned to be funny.
I think it's good. He wants to be remembered. That's why he was put into the game. We're honoring him.
Yeah, I mean, when's the last time anyone talked about Noah Chatterton? Honestly, we're keeping the dream alive.
Right now, we're like, we are proverbially keeping him alive because, you know, like that one like ideology where it's like you die a second time the last time you're ever mentioned, but like we're keeping him eternal here. Anyways, I'm back with my shot of tequila, which is, I'm very sad. I would not normally pour a shot of tequila. It's just all that we really have left right now, so I'm gonna take this and be very sad about it.
I think there's probably a charity. Like, I would love to donate to the charity that Noah Chatterton died from, because like it was cancer, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was his Make-A-Wish thing that got him his cool bow, his level 80, and his voice line.
R.I.P. homie. Once that gets removed, WoW's truly the worst game. And it's like, well, I mean, kinda.
I mean, I don't think they ever would.
How was your tequila shot?
Awful.
I'm bummed. I'm mad. Excuse you, I'm recording a podcast and you're gonna sneeze in the background?
I don't know. People who know me in real life, like, I don't know why exactly, but like for some reason, once I like pass the threshold of being like drunk, I start sneezing. So I guess any listeners, let me know what that means. But
I just assume it's the Inuyasha thing, and it just means someone's thinking about you. You can't see, but I have my hands on my cheeks, and I'm swaying back and forth slightly.
That reminds me of in Zatchbell, when people are puppets.
You opened the Momoto tome of Zatchbell, and I'm not gonna let you out. Give me anything from Zatchbell, and we'll leave the tome.
What do you mean anything, Zatchbell?
Give me another one. Name another character.
You want one other character from Zatchbell? Like, what about Bratchbell?
Okay, we're out. Ratchbell,
Dr. Riddles, Jesus.
Okay, we're out. We gotta do WoW stuff now.
Okay, so the reason I was sad is because usually I feel like the Wintervale gifts aren't data mined, right? By the way, if you don't want to be spoiled on the Wintervale gift, run away, because I've been spoiled, so now I will spoil all of you, because I had to look at it.
You can hear me, my soul crushed, live on pod as he tells me this information.
I actually love, like, not know, because, like, usually the Wintervale gift is not data mined. They don't put it in until, like, it's, like, too late.
I like how because you were exposed to it, now you're holding us hostage here too. We can't not listen to it. We have to react to whatever you say.
Yeah, what am I going to do? Leave for 10 minutes?
It's fine, because once you open the gift, you're going to be like, alright, that's fine, I guess. Which is okay, like, I get it. It's another race car, so it's like, wow, who cares?
Is this like the rootin' tootin' rockin' bashin' roller coaster car?
Ration fucking.
It is indeed the Rock and Rollin' Racer, which is kind of funny because it's a reference to their game that they made, the Rock and Roll, the one that I was like, this game's fun. So it's straight up just a rock and rollin' car. It's like a monster. It's a grave digger. It's a yellow monster truck on four big ass wheels.
You have a chance to get some different ones. Because you know Gravedigger is nothing if he's going against Bigfoot at the Silver Dome.
Oh my god. So Slide and I started watching Shameless for the first time, and there was an episode in the first season where they actually referenced Gravedigger.
You guys hear that? The iconic ambulance, Gravedigger in the background.
That's the ambulance that's coming for Gravedigger when Bigfoot takes him down in the Smash-a-thon this Sunday.
Sunday.
My favorite comment under this rock and roll racer car is from Wabafina yesterday at 4:57 p.m. who says, "Give us a reindeer mount, boo, or update the mistletoe model." Okay, Wabafina, you want?
She just wants deer in this game. She wants new deer.
I love that the boo was in the middle. Give us a reindeer mount, boo. Or update, like, Wabafina, come on, boo first, and then ask for your demands later.
Speaking of this reindeer and other, like, mounts and pets and things, it made me remember that I'm actually really sad, because Brewfest is over now, right? And that means that I, on my hunter, was stupid and forgot that I could tame the pink Elix, and I never got around to it, so hopefully I can get that next year.
I also was really sad about that because I've been leveling my hunter Achilles, and I kind of want to give him a name change, but that's not related. I also wanted a pink Elec.
Well, what would you name change him to? I think Achilles is a cool name.
Achilles is a fantastic name, but the problem is that the text and the font that WoW uses, when you have an I, two L's, and an E, it smushes together, and it doesn't look like Achilles. It looks like just like the way that the letters are formatted. It doesn't look like a good name, which is weird to like say. But like some names don't look good. I's and L's.
Hey, you're talking to a guy who's been dealing with one L and two I's for years.
But
I know the pain.
But that works better because two I's, the I's, you know what an I looks like, right? But when you have an uppercase, when you have L's, you're like, is that an I? Is that an L? I don't know what that is. So it's two L's. and an I before them, and it looks weird. It doesn't look right. I don't know if it's just a me thing, looking at fonts and names, but I'm like, I don't think I like that. What do you guys think about L's and I's? Avid, I haven't heard your opinion.
I don't remember exactly what it looks like, but for some reason I think when I last saw Achilles, it looked like the I and the two L's were like all looked the same. Is that not true?
And that's my problem. Is that it blends in. So if somebody's doing a quick glance at me, they're like, what a stupid fucking name. Why do they have a Chills? A Chai? What is that? Because they're uncultured and they're swine and don't know how to spell Achilles. And I'm like, man, people are dumb and I don't like that.
Well, while we're talking about pets and pets that we forgot to tame at a certain holiday, I think it's time for us to head on into our sexiest NPC of the week, baby.
Oh! I used to own this town. Then it all turned upside down.
Is this just a phase I'm going through? A phase I'm going through? No. I love this boy 24/7, 365.
I honestly think that like 2 episodes in a row now that we've mentioned Big Wolf on Campus, that's probably the most press it's gotten in probably about 20 years.
Check his Instagram tags of Merton J. Dingle. You'll be fucking surprised about the fan base of this show is keeping it going somehow.
Is it still going strong? I maybe I need to dive on into that fan fiction, baby.
People are still doing cosplays for this show, and I'm like, are you for real? Like, what?
Hey, you know who's the big wolf on this campus? I'm talking about... Hold on, everyone.
Well, maybe describe this person first, so they know who you're talking about.
Okay. So yeah, I'm summoning up the energy. I'm holding my hands up, and I'll describe him. We're talking about a tiny, tan gentleman with fancy shoes, high socks, fancy mountain suspenders, and a lovely brown hat.
Ooh, do not forget that fact that he is wearing some lederhosen.
We're talking about the one, the only, Ipfelkofer Iron Keg, the man who meets you at the gates of the Alliance Brewfest.
Of the real Brewfest. Because if you're fucking drinking brews in some dirty ass, disgusting mud pit, let me tell you, you're at Brewfart, and that's gonna get removed soon. Because Brewfest, outside of Ironforge, is where the real homies go to get their slurp on.
Can you imagine it getting removed for being yucky? They were like, Horde Brewfest is a mistake. It's gone. Switch if you want to participate.
It is gross. We will make this section near Ironforge safe for all players. Go there instead, because this is the ideal Brewfest location.
Honestly, that would be the switch to make Horde players play Alliance. You just say, listen, you're gonna get to fucking see Ipfelfucker Iron Keg, and if you want to see him, the only way to do it is to get toys from him by playing Alliance.
I just love how comforting he is, how welcoming he is. It doesn't matter what's going on. Ipfelkofer is there to announce it to everybody.
This is one of the most interesting looking names I've ever seen. Is this like a German name? I don't really know.
I looked it up earlier to make any sort of joke, and the only Ipfelkofer in the known internet is this man.
Who's this man? What are you referencing? Oh, him. Oh, the NPC.
Yeah.
I thought you were like...
the dwarf that is standing in front of us waiting for his award. He's got his hands behind his back. He's like, I'm ready.
I was checking like Discord and Facebook for like an image of like a real eyeball fucker. But looking at the Wowhead comments, James, wow, in 2008 posted, Eipelfokover? Is this German or just a butchery of I fell over? Which is, whoa, it could be, like, I fell over is in his name. 167085, name probably changed, responded, just bullshit, but maybe a little German.
Whoa,
However,
whoa,
wait,
what the fuck?
it gets better. With 10 upvotes, 178633 in 2009 says, Eipfelhofer is in fact a German name with Bavarian origin, although I have never seen it used as a first name. And then we got a response in 2021, approximately how many years later is that?
Took
2009?
12 years to formulate this answer.
12 years later, we got a response from, and I'm not kidding, from Eipfelhofer. That's their username, is the username of our Sexiest NPC. And he says, it's not a first name, smiley face. Neither is Iron Keg. But hey, I can't complain. I hope you like the Brewfest nonetheless. Eipfelhofer himself posted.
This is our guy. In the 11 months of the year that he is not doing Brewfest, he's trolling the Wowhead comments.
Was this one of you boys that made this account to respond to this?
I wish.
Wait, he has a second comment reply. Oh my god, he's everywhere. Oh, it got deleted. Oh no. I'm wondering, no one stated this yet, is this the name of the leader of the German QA and localization? He also invented the Brewface. Wait. Oh my god. Wait, no, but this is the name of the leader of the German QA and localization. He invented Brewfest. This is his way to become immortal. That was posted in 2013. And then Eipfelhofer responded to this and said, someone found out about this, eh? Not sure about the immortal part, but flattered for sure. Uh-oh. Wait a minute.
If this is a real guy, that means he's gotta fucking go.
Yeah, if it's a real name, he's gonna get replaced. Are we gonna have to do a third redacted for our Sexiest NPC bracket? God damn it.
At this point, I feel like this segment is cursed. What the fuck? Are we just choosing all of the people that eventually end up being removed?
Well, I feel like it's less our bad judgment and more Blizzard's bad judgment for making every random NPC who is a hottie with a body named after Greg from accounting.
So bizarre. And what's most interesting about this is that, like, is this the actual guy commenting? What if this is actually the German man himself?
The fact that it was removed from Wowhead makes me think not. It might actually just be somebody with that last name, though? If it's a last name of Bavarian origin, as they say.
If you are listening, the real Eipfelhofer, please write us in to navaracoffin@gmail.com. That's NAVARRA coffin@gmail.com.
You can also send it to NAVARRO coffin. Either email works. Since people seem to not be able to process the words that I say, I now own both emails, and let me tell you, both are overflowing with the amount of mail I've received.
I was gonna say, do you think that you are capable of handling two overflowing inboxes, or do you think we need to hire somebody to sift through this for you?
I've responded daily.
I Phil Kofer. If you are also wanting to be the guy who responds to the emails at Navarra Coffin, please write in to Navarra Coffin.
I feel like we need to nail down a group pronunciation for his name, because he is going to go far, and I will make sure of that by voting for him every time, because I love this guy. He's our first holiday. He greeted us at Brewfest. Like, I remember being like, oh my god, who's this little guy? It's a little dwarf guy. What is this? What do I do? And he was like, run around. And I was like, unhelpful, but like, I love you.
He was like, I will announce everything, but not be helpful.
None of us have ever even made it to the opening keg tap, have we?
Doesn't that happen?
Is that a thing?
Did y'all see? I was gonna say, did y'all even
I
know?
didn't know it was a thing.
Get this. So literally at like 6 a.m., 7 a.m., it's super fucking early. If you go out to Brewfest, which too late, it's expired, the leaders of the factions will tap the keg, and you get an experience buff for being there at the very early morning of Brewfest.
Is this every day of Brewfest, or only on the very first day of Brewfest?
I believe it's every day of Brewfest. You just have to be there like early as fuck.
Also, when you say faction leaders, are we going into canon with this one? Like, is Anduin going to be like,
Yes!
let this golden brew flow? And you're like, Anduin, how are you here? And he was like, just kidding, bye.
No.
And he runs behind the barley brew tent.
So that's what I was wondering, because Anduin was the keg tapper. I actually do think it was changed, because I think Mechatork makes an appearance as well to tap the kegs, I'm pretty sure.
I think it would be really, really funny if they still used Anduin, but then like put him in that like not very good costume that he had in the one book. What was it, Shadows Rising, where he was like out at the bar
he
and
had
he had like a
grease in his
fake
hair.
mustache on.
We invited Merrick Binglebort to tap the keg. It is me, Merrick Binglebort, just regular guy.
So I guess Anduin never tapped the keg. Whatever. In 2007, 86437 said, you get this buff by going to the Brewfest camp outside Ironforge or Orgrimmar. Vol'jin, which probably has been changed, or High Tinker Mechatork will give out a speech 2 times a day. The speech starts a few minutes before 6 a.m. or 6 p.m. your server time. After the speech is over, which takes about 2 minutes, what are they talking about? You get this buff. So it's a 10% experience buff.
Okay, well,
Dang.
I mean, next year I'll go. I like probably the 6 p.m. one, if I'm being honest.
I have the Mechatork speech here. Are you guys ready to hear this?
Yes.
I'm not doing a voice. You can pitch it down if you want to.
Boo.
It's
You know I
long.
will.
It's 2 minutes.
You think that you can't do that for 2 minutes?
It's good. I also can't do a good gnome. I can't do a good Mechatork voice. I don't want to
Fair
do him
enough.
justice.
It's good seeing so many of you here to celebrate this time-honored festivity. A celebration of this magnitude is long overdue. When King Magni approached me about these festivities, I was excited. I began explaining how with a little help from the gnomes, we could really make this a blast to remember. Sadly, King Magni wanted to keep it simple. He wanted to honor the past. I can understand that,
This is fucking WoW players now.
but the king did allow for a change, letting a gnome tap the keg. So I got a chance to work on a new type of problem. How to efficiently and quickly open the keg and distribute its contents, such that all participants will receive equal parts quickly and efficiently. So I had my top men and women start working on a machine to do this exact task. We've calculated down to the second how best to
And then Maeve Barley Brew says, just tap the keg already! And then Mechatork says,
Wait, I guess the Keg Tapper 74205 will have to wait, but that's okay. I've got some designs for the Keg Tapper 75633.
Maeve Barley Brew comes back and says, boring! And Mechatork says,
Right. Let's start the countdown from 10. Ready? 10.
and then the crowd yells, 5! And Mechatork says,
Okay, I'll wait for 0.
the crowd counts down, 4, 3, 2, 1. And Mechatork says,
The keg is tapped. I propose a toast, but don't worry, I'll keep it short and sweet. Drink and be merry.
Honestly,
Yay.
I love that. That's a lot of fun, and I'm sad I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, I would say, what a darling little scene that I have yet to observe with my eyeballs. But next year, I'm there, man.
it's amazing when you look at Vol'jin's quest, which I will not read. It's literally like half as short. It's like 4 sentences, and then the crowd counts down. So once again,
Does Vol'jin even drink? Like, thinking of drinking for the Horde, I would not have thought troll.
I mean, he doesn't, because, okay, I lied. I'm going to read a little bit. We will learn who the greatest brewmaster is. We know the breweries are up for the challenge. We would not have invited them otherwise. He doesn't even care. It's so emotionless.
I'm glad he's dead.
At this point, fucking bring in like G Firepaw. We hate him, but you know the Pandarians know how to drink.
Also, you know he's got that G-Fire ball ready to pass around to everybody.
Do you think the G Fireball also has antifreeze in it?
Yes.
He said, it's just like it's sophomore year of college all over again. You drink lots of Fireball because you don't know anything else.
I hope they remove G from the game.
Not for any other reason than that we hate him.
Okay, there's one response to that Megaturk speech I just read from Scarloss. It has negative 24 downvotes, and it says, "Such a wimp, haha."
Fuck Scarless. Don't talk about my king like that.
So good. All right, well, shout out to our boy, Ipperkolf. Ipperkolf, what's his last name?
Ipfelkofer Iron Keg, you're sexy, and you allowed us to learn about Brewfest history, so thanks, bud.
That's all he would have wanted, right? Us to learn more about Brewfest.
Knowledge is sexy. All right, now it's time for our top two, bottom boot, medium moot. Make it quick, fuckheads. I'm gonna go first.
Okay,
No, you
fuck
go.
you. I'm gonna
Fuck
start
you.
first.
You go first.
Fuck you.
Fuck both of you. I'm going first.
Okay.
Yeah, so I got myself a top 2 this week, baby.
Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck both of you guys. Anyways, my top 2 is that I ran a very high key this week, and I was very excited about that one. Previously, I'd never run anything above like a 16 or a 17. I mean, I've gotten Keystone Master the last, like this expansion. But before that, I never really ran high keys. Anyways, I ran, I believe it was a 19, right? And
Yes.
we almost timed it. Like, we would have timed it if it weren't for a few, like, miscellaneous fuck-ups we all had. So, it made me feel good, and I feel like I can achieve this goal of timing 20s for those teleports. So that is my top 2 this week, baby.
Okay, fuck you.
Slidewhistle.
Just kidding. I'm bursting in.
Fuck you.
Shh, I'm making mine real quick. I got a top 2, and it's that I got equipment on Wigglestein and experience, and I healed some dungeons, and it didn't feel chaotic. So I think I actually know how to do...
What?
For like the first time in my life, I know how to do Mistweaver at least a little bit. I got to reach out to 4th co-host of the show, Jamonkey, to get some extra hints, but I actually feel like I know how to do Mistweaver now, which is wild to me.
Jamonkey, help him. Also, wait, what level is Wigglestein?
Eye level? I think he's like 200.
Is he 60? He is 60? Wow, fuck. What
Yeah,
happened?
he's 60 because he's my Maldraxxus guy, and I think he's like 210, I think.
Oh, dang, I was going to be like, if you wanted a level, let's do some heroics with my hunter, but you're on big boy shit.
That's the thing, is I can get, my wrist can get heroic upgraded. Everything else, I have higher than that. But I'm still willing to for experience.
Hey, I'm in.
But Slidewhistle, what's your TT BBMM?
I got a big fat medium moot this week.
Oh no, medium moot.
Can that be big or fat? I don't know.
Well, it's the same vein. We did a Mythic 19 miss, which was fucking great. That's my top part of it. But the bottom part that makes it a medium moot is the amount of bugs we experienced in this dungeon. I mean, you didn't mention this. He was unable to pick up his 4th Torghast power. It would not give it to him.
I guess I didn't say this, but Soggy Dong, he appeared like right when he spawned in, or right when we first saw him. I targeted him, and he was just listed as unknown. And then when we killed him, the power appeared, but I was unable to click it, and he was still just listed as unknown. And we wiped on some trash after that, and then walked back, and I still was unable to.
And for those who don't know, Saladon's power gives you the one that everyone should be clicking, which is the 20% shield for your health. And I think that shield may have actually prevented Immune from dying when he died, which kind of caused us to lose... I think we should have been a little bit short, but not that much short.
Excuse me. I'm usually the last to die.
So what happened?
I don't think I ever died first or whatever during that.
No, what happened was you didn't have the shield, so you died. We died together. What do you mean you died? We died together. Remember?
How poetic.
All right, well, with that, we're out of here. If you have any comments, questions, complaints, you can send us an email to donotrelentlpod@gmail.com. Send me an email to navarracoffin@gmail.com. Spell it however you want. Just don't use any E's, because then that's not going to work. Leave us a review on Warcraft Radio, iTunes, follow us on Spotify, blah, 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 blah. What about you guys? We're going to find you on the internet.
You can find me, Alex or Immunization, on Twitter at NewEraAlex. You can follow the podcast Instagram account on the gram at Do Not Relent.
You can find me, Aaron the Human, at The Big Cheesy on Twitter.com. Read our literary musings at DoNotRelent.livejournal.com. And watch me stream some stuff at twitch.tv/AaronDNR. I updated my password so you can't hack me, cretins.
Hack them now. Got raid. This one really crept up on us. See you guys next week, and remember,
Another down! Do not relent!
Do Not Relent is a podcast within the 3HNC network, representing U.S. Proudmoore's premier podcasts.
That was a very good wish.